Hello everybody, welcome to another live training Thursday. So, wow, what a big week it's been. I hope you're all doing well. I am currently in a bit of contemplation and integration mode, I have to say. I'm sure you're all sort of coming in at a time where in your business, if you're not actually taking a stand for something, then you're not really conveying anything to your audience. Like, it's very vanilla. Now, that's why I wanted to come on today and have a big conversation with you guys, because the movement on, I want to talk about the black screen that everyone's put online, the Blackout Tuesday. I actually want to talk about this. Like, I am feeling a bit nervous about creating a conversation around this, because there's this part in me that's like, what if I don't say something right? What if I offend someone? What if I'm incorrect with what I say? But you know what? Like, there is so much more bravery in coming online and actually expressing something than sitting back and hiding. Now, I hope that you guys seeing me being courageous today and actually having this conversation is going to encourage you to, at the very least, learn. But then, second of all, once you've learned something, passing on that information to someone to help educate them. So what happens when people just jump on the bandwagon? Yes, they've blocked out like a little square on their Instagram feed. But really, like, have they actually done anything? Is anybody who is actually putting that little black thing with a hashtag Black Lives Matters, are they actually learning something from that? Or are they just joining in another movement of white people trying to say that we're doing stuff for them, but we're really not? So I want to let you guys know that I stand for this being called out, basically. And I call out my own privilege. I call out so many of the people in our industry and profession that we all look through things through our white lens. And it's how society's been built. And I'm so happy to see there's a few of you who are joining me live for this. So this particular conversation, like, it's bloody uncomfortable. But we have to do it. We have to have these conversations with each other, and it's actually for the greater good. So as you've noticed, the veil has been lifted over this past, let's say, couple of months. The veil has been lifted. There's questions. People want answers. People are angry. People are feeling confused. So where do you stand? And please don't just put a black square on your freaking Instagram. You need to hop on and say, you know what, I'm going to say that I didn't realize me being silent for so long actually showed that I was with the supremacists. And I don't even like saying that word, that white supremacist. It just irks me. But that's what happens when we're silent. That's what happens when we're just sitting there reading all the stuff, consuming all the stuff, and relying on people from the coloured community to inform us of the correct way to speak about things, or follow this person and she'll educate you. We've got to take a stand and educate ourselves here. So this uncomfortable conversation, I'm going to tell you guys how it applies to my life. So for me, I grew up in a community where there are a lot of Indigenous kids, a lot of Indigenous families, and a lot of them lived in housing commission. I lived in probably the nicer area of where I grew up, and it was in northern New South Wales, just outside of Lismore. And I'm even feeling a bit scared, telling this story. I was one of the, this is in primary school, I must have been grade 5 or 6. I was one of the white girls that was singled out by a whole bunch of Aboriginals at this one stage. I can't even remember, I was actually trying to recall the true story, and I couldn't really remember why I was singled out to begin with. But it wouldn't actually surprise me that I had said the wrong thing to one of them. I may have said something nasty to one of them. And the big thing about the Indigenous population that were there, the great thing is that they would all band together and look out for each other. So you know what I noticed when I was, I guess, singled out by them? I was alone. None of my friends came and helped me. Nobody actually stood by me. I was like racing around feeling really scared. Now that, in essence, like that all just fizzled out, as it happens with kids, right? But I felt super threatened. I felt super unsafe. And so for me, that created a prejudice, that created fear, that created a response within my nervous system that every time I saw an Indigenous person, I'd think that they were out to get me. So I've had to like step into that uncomfortable space and say, what role did I play in that? What role did I play to, come across as that person who may have said the wrong thing to one of them? I really wish that I could recall conversations that we used to have, but I definitely would say that there were racial things said between both them and myself, and it was not nice. And this is happening in Australia. Like, people are watching all the stuff on the news and they're saying, oh, well, it doesn't apply to us. Yes, it does. It really does. And we need to really focus on what's happening here in our country and help to unveil what's really happened. Because at the end of the day, our ancestors, in one way, shape or another, have taken over this land. And what are we doing about it? The current government says that they're doing a lot, but I don't believe that they truly are. There are a lot of amazing Aboriginal people out there doing a whole bunch of awesome stuff. And the traditional culture I see is coming back into schools, but it's all being delivered through the white lens. And yes, it is uncomfortable to say that, but it is true. So I want to hear, where do all of you stand? What's the point of any of this? It's the point of equality. I have a big thing in my life, not just to unveil the stuff, because that's one thing. So, I could invite an Aboriginal person onto my podcast. That would be amazing. But there's a difference between inviting that person on and then actually helping her to feel like she belongs, and me being inclusive by letting her speak about exactly what she needs to speak about, instead of me saying, now we'll just focus on this, this, and this, and me saying, this is the structure we have to stick to. So there's a difference between trying to put, the blackout background and actually standing up and recording a video and saying, you know what, I actually didn't realize that I was standing in my privilege my whole life. I actually didn't realize that by saying nothing, I was actually supporting the people who are in power of this nasty, racist issue that keeps polluting the entire world. So there's the start. I feel like that's just the start of this conversation for me. And I can see people are coming and going off this video, and that's fine. And if it's made you feel uncomfortable, that's fine too. My suggestion is that we all start to educate ourselves. And my second suggestion is that you record something a little more meaningful and call yourself out and stand up and talk about these issues. Because we are health professionals and people actually listen when we talk. So you being in your silence is not helping. We actually need people like you to stand up, to be courageous, and to just try your best to step into that uncomfortableness. If you do it for this, imagine on the other side what could potentially happen for the people of colour. We're actually amplifying their message right now. I get goosebumps when I say that. So what role are you going to choose to play? Will you hide and stay silent? Or will you actually step up? The last part that I want to talk about in this particular video is I want to sort of pivot this group a little bit, because what I notice is some people are amazing at doing their videos and others are still hiding. And I really want naturopaths and nutritionists and healers to feel so comfortable getting on camera and humanizing your business. So what my offer is for you guys is I have created this space. I've created this vortex of this group for a reason. And I would really like for you all to come in and practice. So if you like, I can create themes or I can create topics for you. But come in and practice. Come in and practice like you taking a stance on what's happening in the world. Come in and practice talking about a new program you might have created. Come in and practice about talking to somebody in your clinic. Whatever it might be, just come in and practice. My invitation to you is to step into this safe space and jump on video. Now, I am creating that challenge, showing up challenge, and I will put all the details into the group as soon as possible. There is a prize at the end for those who are joining in. All right. So thank you all very much for listening, for joining. I hope that has been thought-provoking and action-provoking. I'll see you all very soon.